Hi all you beautiful people. Yeah, this one of these last videos where I was sharing about my family situation. I thought I'd make another video, just see how we go. I could feel it was a very, that video had a lot of sort of energy in it, and I was actually in doubt when I'd made it, should I upload it or not. And I went back to, because I'm just always sort of asking God, what does He want? What is to be? And every time I watched it, I sensed that it was right to put it in there. And I can see that some of you could use the video. And so let's just move a little bit more into this. There was one of you who commented and who was disappointed about the video because she felt that this is not a good representation of Christ. So she feels that I'm a representation of Christ. So I don't feel I am. I think Christ is in all of us. So, but what He actually said, Jesus, was that He has not come to bring peace. He's come to actually stir up everything, and that there will be friction in the families. There will be it will not be just peaceful and loving. And that's very much what I feel is really happening on the earth. And I feel very, very, very strongly what they're talking about in the awakening movement, or everybody who's talking about the awakening, that the dark, you can call it the dark and the light. You can also call it the old world and the new world. That they're becoming more and more stronger and stronger, and they're pulling in each their direction. And according to them, we have to make a decision. Do I want to live in love and light? And it sounds so, it doesn't sound very serious or deep at all, but really, I feel it's so true. We are love, and all there is love. And we have been blinded, as Jesus said. We've been in this darkness where we've been blind and we have not been able to see. And all the ugliness and the bad stuff, He says, is not outside us, it's inside us, and we need to clean it out. So He's told us everything, really. And that, yeah, we promise, or the whole plan is that we're meant to return to our true self, which is the kingdom of God is within you. So we're all meant to return to our true selves. But as I've said so many times, and according to what I can hear and read, some people are not willing, do not wish to meet their soul and to be on this path of living from their soul. And there can be many reasons for this. And so just where I feel where we are right now, it's just becoming more and more stronger and stronger. And each of us has to find out, what do I want with my life? No matter which family I'm in, whether I have a family or don't have a family, what is right for me? And I just want to say that I haven't cut off any connections with anyone. It's just to tell you, I did for a period with my mother, but I said, when I did it, I said, I'm always here, and if you wish to start a new relationship, I'm here. And I would never push her away, so I don't do that to anyone. If I just stay honest and loving where I am. So I have not cut off, I've not closed off to anyone, and I think that's really, that doesn't suit me. I just stand where I stand, and in that way people can feel that they wish to move away from me. But that's really how this is what I've chosen, to just stand very firmly where I stand and just be honest about who I am. And I mean, if we are not honest and stand in our own truth, who should we be? What should we do? And if people don't like that, if we change ourselves so that they like us, we're actually living a lie. So it's yeah, I just think that's really the way of the future, and the way of a good life is to really stand in your truth and to be yourself, and to know that we're all these beautiful beings and that we're free. We've been given free will. But the whole thing of, see, I've done this for, been in these very close relationships for many, many years, and have felt this for a very, very long time, as I've said, and I just reached a point where I couldn't do it anymore because it was killing me. And some people can stay with these people and just be with them a real lot and be treated bad year after year after year and just accept it, and that's their path. And I think whatever path is true to us, we must walk, and there's nothing wrong with it. So, and another thing I want to share, which I really believe, and many of you might not believe, is that before we came to earth, I mean, our soul is eternal. We've been here always. Once we were created, I mean, in the beginning of time, we were created, and we are eternal beings. And right now we're in a physical form, but our soul is actually much bigger than, it's not all contained in our body because it's so big. But anyway, before we came to earth, I'm pretty sure, from what you hear from the near-death experiences and people who have sort of been onto the other side, into the non-physical, and seeing what's happened, I believe we and our families sat down and really, because we all love each other deeply. I mean, that's the truth. We're all deeply in love with each other because that's who we are. And the people who are not expressing it in their daily life, they're simply lost from that love. But I really know this. I just feel it deep in myself that we're all deeply in love with each other and ourselves. That's our true being. That's our true nature. So anyway, before we came to earth, we sat down, probably around a table, all our family, and said, okay, how are we going to arrange this life so that everyone can learn the most? How are we going to structure this so that everyone gets the best lesson, which really means the worst trip on earth, so that they can really broaden their horizon, deepen their connection to God, really discover who they are, and go through some emotional pain that is going to mature them. So what I've been through, that I've chosen, it's been important for my process, and the people who've made it hard for me, who have been difficult in my life, they're there because they love me. I mean, it sounds really abstract, but the people who bother you the most are really the ones who love you the most, because on a deep level they've chosen to take this role which will teach you some things about yourself, or the best things that you need to learn right now in life. So I really believe this. It's all something we've decided we want to do. And then there's the whole thing about the family structure, and as I see it, it's falling apart. It's like all of society, all financial, all structures that are not completely of the light, they are falling apart. So many families are experiencing that it's all just withering away. It's all falling apart, and that's because it has to, so that all of us can grow out as single souls who really find themselves, and who are not leaning on a mother or leaning on a daughter, or who are identifying with a role in a family. So this freedom process we're all in, we who wish to be enlightened and grow into the new earth, create the new earth, we actually wish this process to really to go through this process. And the old way of having a family was really, in many ways, actually very difficult for many people. Many people have had a very difficult time in their families, and it was all built out of the old lies and our our way of seeing the family as we used to be in the old world was that the family, you have a mother, you have a father, you have some children, you have some grandchildren, and they might be more or less mentally and emotionally very imbalanced people, but you just have to accept it, and you just have to protect each other. You protect the family, you protect each other, and you just find your place in the family, and that's the way to be a good person. And how many people have been living in a family where they've been abused, where things have been happening, and because you didn't want to open up and tell the truth, because you had to protect the family, how many people have actually had a very, very sad life because the family was not a place of love and freedom and joy, where you could go and get nourishment. It was actually a place where you became very destroyed. And that's really, I mean, you can see it in all the films and everything, hear all the stories. A family can be a very, very, very bad place to be. And those of us who know that this is not the truth, and this is not the way we're meant to have a family, we will burst out of it and say, no more, I won't do this. And the thing is to do it in love, to not hate your family, but to say, I mean, and that's just what I really, really feel, that's the way to go, to say, this is me, and there are certain things I will not have. I will not be abused. I will not be hit. I will not accept this on my being. It might be my sister will, or my whoever, that's true for them, but it's not true for me. I won't do it. And I really think the people who do that are the ones who are bringing the light into the earth. And of course, that family, they don't like it when change happens and suddenly people are saying the truth, but I know that deep in their hearts, they wish that same joy and freedom. They don't wish to be in a family where they feel tied down and burdened and pressed into a role where they have to make other people happy because they're all dependent on you doing certain things. I just know, I just feel this deep in our hearts. We wish to live in freedom, and we wish to live as these beautiful beings that we have come to be. And we know we're powerful, and we know we bring a beautiful gift. We're these little flowers of the universe. And we did not come to bring ugliness and bad stuff. We came to bring the light and the goodness. And for all of us, there's nobody who's going to come and remove the bad structures around us, a bad job, a bad boss, a bad family, all these. We have to do it ourselves, and it's tough. It's really, really tough. You'd wish somebody would just come and clean it, get it all organized, but they don't. You have to find, I mean, this path, they all say it in the spiritual world, this is the worst place. I mean, this is the most difficult place to be, is to be on earth. Whoops. I think there was a bird of prey there. You have to muster up the courage to say, this is me, this is what I'm going to do, and you might hate me for the rest of your life, but I'm going to do it anyway, because that's me. And if you don't like my true self, well, you don't like me. I mean, you don't, that's not love. So, and so maybe that's why these videos I'm making these videos to help you, or to, if it can blow make the flame the flame of courage in you greater, to be you, and to dare to be you. And I was asked one more thing about the whole financial thing. And as I said in one video a long time ago, it's not there anymore, but if I was sort of standing in the street, I would go and knock on a door on a farm and ask them, could I have a little piece of their land, and I would help them. I mean, it sounds mad, but I am mad. I would help them with maybe in their home or whatever, with the cleaning or cooking or something, and if I could have a little place, and I'd have a goat I could milk. And I try to organize myself where I didn't need much money. And I really feel that when you decide to go on this path of the truth for you, you will be helped. And remember to ask for help. But make sure you're not hating anyone or blaming anyone. Because if you have any of these feelings, it's going to hold the help back. So the more you set yourself free, set others free, and say, this is what I'm going to do. And if you've just figured out you're in a family where you're actually very uncomfortable, I mean, I've spent 40, 50 years trying to make it work, or trying to see that there must be some solution, and there wasn't. And so if you've just discovered something is wrong, maybe you want to spend some years saying, okay, I'm going to change myself while living here, and maybe the others will be inspired to also become more honest and loving. And you can stay in the same family with the same husband, and you will, by your blossoming, you will make the whole family blossom, and everything will come into balance. So you don't know what your path is. Well, we do know what our path is, but we can't remember it. But for me, in my case, I had to break free completely. And financially, it looks really pretty strange, but I have the milk from the cows. But I'm just being told, it might look like you don't have any money, but you'll be fine. And I know from the rest of my life, I've never made much money, but I've always had enough. And I think the way of the future is we won't be using much money. Won't be needing money as an energy so much, because we'll be helping each other. So that's the way of the future. We'll be there in a loving, we will be shining our light, and others will be able to use some of that light, or we'll be able to share it with others, whatever it is, milking a cow, the milk, the eggs, whatever. So we'll be helping each other much more. So I think the first step is to just allow yourself to be honest in every moment. If that means sit and drink a cup of coffee all day long, do it. That's the first step. And love yourself in that moment, and let others go with love. And then I think prayer is so important and powerful, because you just keep staying connected, and you're nourished with all this love from God. And you get so strong, and you just feel as you go, you're taking these steps off the cliff, because you just don't know what, but you're taking the step, and as soon as you put your weight on the foot, the cliff moves out. So that's what I feel in my life. You are supported if you're working in love and honesty. And for sure, people might think it's very horrible what you're doing, but you are doing it because you're loving them. It's an act of love. There's no doubt in my mind. You're acting out of love. So, and just coming back to my mum doesn't see these videos, so, and I just, what I'm doing at the moment is I just call her once in a while and just have a little chat and tell her what's going on the farm, and I can feel that she loves that very much, but she doesn't want me to come and visit, and she's in a very difficult place, so she doesn't want to have me come. So I just, when I feel inspired to just give her a little bit of love, I do, and no more, because if I become too loving, everything goes wrong again, and everything gets very bad. So I think with every relationship, we're being guided, with every single relationship with yourself and with others, you're always being guided. And I believe to never shut a door completely, always keep the doors open, just say, this is me, this is who I am, this is what I love to do, and this is what I'm going to do. And people might just run away. You never see them again because they think it's so horrible. And just set them free with love. But if they come and say, oh, I really want to talk with you, you're there. So, yeah, this was just a bit more about this. And I feel the Lord wants me to talk about it. And yeah, it's just very powerful what's going on right now on the earth. It's so powerful. So bless you, my friend, and may you feel how you're blossoming like the most beautiful flower garden. You are the flower garden. And if you're a man, you are the waterfall. You are the mountain. You are so beautiful and so magnificent. And the old world hates you feeling that. But you are. And yeah, so just sense it, how magnificent you are, and you'll be fine. You'll be just fine. So, see you, my friend. Bye.